watching Faith Unscripted, coming to you from the greater Chicago area. Now, here's Pastor Moses.
When a person is properly educated, it will determine how they act out on it. I remember growing up, man, back in the day, they had classes called sex education. Some of us took it seriously. Some of us didn't. I remember I was first dating Lady Harry. She took it seriously. It was obvious I didn't. I'll never forget, I was a young boy just trying to be a little mannish every now and then. Trying to be mannish with it. I never know, one day she corrected me so hard. No, leave me alone now. Stop that kind of stuff. She said, because, that's dangerous what we're doing. You got to be careful when you're trying to play them little games. I said, well, girl, stop being so uptight. She's talking about, she had been educated on the importance of not playing with sex. She broke down to me what STDs was. She broke down to me how pregnancy worked. Now, I wasn't thinking about all of that. Didn't even care about it. I just wanted to have a good time. I feel judged over there. All right. Yeah, I'm trying to have a good time. But see, now what happened is one person's sex drive is a little aggressive because they're uneducated. They don't know the seriousness of it. And there's another person's sex drive is a little bit more cautious because they're being taught. The same thing goes spiritually. If you're unspiritual, you'll make reckless decisions. Because sometimes nobody ever taught you better. But sometimes when you've been taught better spiritually, you will make better decisions. The same thing goes as it relates to sexual education. Are y'all still with me here? And so it's so important when you're looking at a person's sex drive, how were they educated about sex? And this is so important why the church must do its job. Are you hearing me here? This is why the church got to stop all this sex talk. It's taboo. Are you hearing me here? Because see, the church problem is this. We love to judge without teaching and equipping people. So we never talk about this. We never teach about this. But when the young girl come with a big stomach, we kick her out the choir. And the boy still playing the drums. Who gave her the baby? But we won't come on. And so we do stuff like that. And we ruin people's lives when we don't have no grace. We don't have no mercy. And nobody ever taught them how to do this the right way. Some of y'all don't like it now. I don't care. Because I gotta help somebody. I gotta teach somebody. I gotta make sure that somebody don't make a mistake that can mess up their life. Then at some point I am, as their pastor, responsible for it. So we have to educate in the church, hear me good, and we have to educate at home. Hear me good, parents. The day of sex being taboo in your house has to stop. That's true, because they know more about it than you probably do. Don't you know how easy it is to access all that kind of stuff now? Now, for some of y'all back in the day, the biggest thrill was getting a little magazine. Come on, then for the next generation, if you could sneak you a VHS tape. Okay, y'all. Come on, you can put it in and watch stuff. But now, they ain't got to have no VHS tape. They ain't got to have no magazine. They go to www.oowe.com and they see all that they want to see. And you think they're in that room locked up playing video games. No, they're doing a whole lot more than that. And once again, now what is happening is now their exposure is being established. And you have a generation of young people now who are riled up sexually. And their sex drive is high and it's almost out of control to the point that if they get married, it's almost an 80% guarantee adultery gonna happen. Almost guarantee. I don't care how spiritual they may act, it's got to happen. If you watch that stuff all the time, and if that's your environment all the time, and you uneducated all the time, it's almost as if you have no chance. Unless somebody gets some of that stuff out of you. Look at somebody say, you ain't ready for pastor today. You ain't ready for that. So parents, here we go. We can't be embarrassed. We can't be embarrassed. Stop allowing your kids to tell you, you can't come in my room. You can't look at my device. Who device? Who paid for it? Where your receipt said? No, that's my stuff. And at any time I want to do a room check, I can come in and do a room check, look up under your bed, look in your drawers, and I'm going to ask you this question: how did this stuff get in my stuff? Somebody say educate, 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 educate. How much time I got? Okay. So talk about factors. All right, everybody say factors, factors. I'm going somewhere now. Stay with me now, because I'm going somewhere with this now. The factors that make up a sex drive. Number one was what? We said exposure, right? Number two was what? Environment. Number three was what? Education. All right, number four is experiences. A person experiences will eventually determine what their sex drive is. Now, how a person first experienced sex will determine their excitement or lack of excitement about sex. If they had a bad first experience, if their first experience was molestation or rape, someone took advantage of them, it's going to be hard for that person to have a healthy or be even excited about sexual relations. If they had an uncaring experience, made a bad decision, shouldn't have been doing it in the first place, but they did, and the person didn't have no care, had no respect for their body, just disrespected them. Now, that type of experience can begin to be a seed that turns into a stronghold that gives them a bad taste about anything sexually. And then sometimes if a person has a continuous flow of bad experiences sexually, then of course they will not be excited about doing it. See, sexually speaking, experiences determines excitement. And if the experiences are bad, then they will not have an excitement about it. And that's why you gotta investigate your experiences. Some of your sex drives may be unhealthy because you've had unhealthy experience. Are y'all still with me here? All right, I got one more. Talk about the factors now that determine sex drive. We say it's factored by exposure, environment, education, experiences. Here's the last one, which is very important: energy. Everybody say energy. And when we talk about a person's energy, we're talking about a person's enthusiasm towards sex. Now, this can be affected by a couple of things. Sometimes a person's energy towards sex can be affected by health. There are certain diseases that automatically will affect your sex drive. There are certain diseases biologically that will make your sex drive go down. Another one, libido. For women, sometimes after they have babies, their libido goes down. They don't feel sexy. They don't feel cute. Things are going on biologically that can cause things to shift and change. For somebody else, it could be focus. There's some people who just focus. Like, I am focused and my energy is on my career. My energy is on getting this bag, making money, and I ain't got time for sex. Matter of fact, I'm too broke to have sex. I get me some money, I'll think about sex. But until then, I got to get this. Come on, y'all ain't saying that. Come on, y'all ain't saying nothing. Some folk focus is so strong, but they don't got time for all that kind of stuff. For somebody else, it could be grief. Grief could affect sexual drive. Lost someone dear to you now, and I'm just not in that mood for all of that. My heart is broken. I'm trying to recuperate. Sometimes it's stress can affect the energy of sex. I don't want to have sex. I got too much stress on me. Got too much pressure on me, and I can't deal with it. And for others, sometimes it could be age. Sometimes they say, I just ain't got it like I used to got it. Now, one time I got in trouble by that, because one time I was counseling many years ago an older couple that came to me, and we were talking. And I made the wrong assumption that because they were older, that sex wasn't a factor. And I remember the man, he corrected me real quickly. He said, no, Pastor. I never forget what he told me. He said, just because I got this cane don't mean I can't do my thing. I said, well, do your thing then. Do your thing then. Do your thing then. But how many of you know sometimes just your age can be to a place where physical sex is not as important as sometimes intimacy. Are you still with me here? Here's my point. A person's sexual energy will often depend on what's going on in their life. And a person's energy, depending on what's going on in their life, can determine their sex drive. Did y'all get all of that? I said, did y'all get all of that? Now, I hope all of that made sense. Because I want to tell you this. These factors are important. Somebody shout, they are important. Because it's important to know what you're working with a sexual partner. And this is why sexual history matters. If you're getting ready to hook up with somebody in a marriage relationship, stop being so shy about sexual history. Well, that's not none of your business. Well, if you're going to marry me, it is. Oh, y'all not saying nothing now. Now, if we're going to be married, it has to become my business because I need to know what factors determine your sexual drive. For example, so someone tells you that they were exposed to certain things in their life sexually. They tell you, I was exposed to pornography at a very young age. Used to watch nasty movies. Here's your first question. Do you still watch it? Is it still something you do on a regular basis? And if they say, yeah, it is. Well, you know what? Let's just pause. Not saying I don't want to get married. I still love you. Maybe let's go to counseling. Let's get that taken care of. Because I don't want to marry you and that's a part of your sex drive. Because you'll watch a nasty movie, then come to me getting all riled up. And although you're riled up and high, it's unhealthy because what's behind it is not pure. What's behind it is something that is ungodly. And then you come to me on one day and my energy is low, and so you want it so bad because all that nasty stuff don't rile you up. And if I can't give it to you that day, you get so mad that you go out there and get it from somebody else. Y'all, this is serious stuff. So you got to have the appropriate conversations. See, these factors that you know, let's talk about it. How was you exposed? What happened? Okay. So now somebody tells you, okay, I was I got exposed to sex or I had a bad experience with sex. Bad experience. I was molested. I was raped. Okay, oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. Did you ever get counseling for that? You ever talk to anybody about that? No, I didn't. Nobody know about it. Well, baby, let's not get married right now. Let's go talk about it. Let's work through that because I don't want to touch you one day and you jump and you think I'm an enemy, but I love you purely, but because you've had bad experiences. Then sexually we can't be connected. Sexually we can't be together. So I need to know about some of your factors so that we can fix it. And I'm telling you, it's good to go through all five. Have honest conversation. What was your exposure? What was your environment? Were you educated about it? What was your experiences? How is your energy? Are you healthy? Are you not healthy? Something wrong with your body? I need to know so that I won't make assumptions about you or do different things about you. There's an understanding. I know what's going on. Now, hear me good. This is important because it lets you know what the sex life of your partner or potential partner mate will be like. When you have the appropriate conversations, you may find out that for somebody, sex is very important. They got to have it. Somebody else you may discover, sex ain't that important to me. I can do without it. Ain't all of that. I'm okay. And listen here, neither way is wrong or right as long as it's healthy. But how many of you know you need to know? Because if someone is high but healthy and the other person is low but they're healthy, then being opposite sexually may be a cause to pause. I mean, if all is right, everybody's good, but I'm just naturally high, and all is good, and I'm just naturally low, then we may just say, ooh. Because I don't want to be in a situation where I'm high, I'm ready, and they saying, no, stay away. And that becomes a natural way of living. Now, I'm back in the Bible now. And that's when Paul says that Satan has ingenious ways. Remember that scripture? Of tempting us. Because what we're trying to avoid, y'all hear me good, what we're trying to avoid is somebody making a bad mistake and dishonoring the marriage by creeping out. Lord knows we can avoid that. Let's avoid it. Not saying that you can't recover from it. You can recover from that. There can be a grace for that. It's going to be hard, a lot of counseling, a lot of prayer, a lot of forgiving. But if you can avoid it, let's try to prevent it. And I'm telling you what I know. We're living in a generation of people who are growing up. Their factors are all jacked up. So really, man, we need some deliverance services sometimes. We need to be laying hands, blowing on, spitting on people. That's what we got to do. Come on now. Some of us say, Pastor, I got to get free. That when I look at my spouse, the only thing I see is them. Are y'all still with me here? I said, are y'all still with me here? And so sexual compatibility is important. All right? It's not the end-all, be-all, but it matters. Why? Because the Bible is clear. There are certain areas you don't want to be opposite in. So once again, if everything is right, everything is healthy, somebody's naturally low, somebody's naturally high, pray about it. Talk about it. Discuss it. Have some accountability. But at least you know now, I believe if you pray right, if you do right by God, I believe God will hook you up. Two high people together. Come on, two high people together having a good time. I believe if it ain't your thing, God will send two low people together. And y'all are every now and then, okay, you be who you are, you be happy, you be satisfied. God will give you what you want if you do right by him. I wish I had some help. If you do right by God, I'm telling you, God will send you what you like. God will send you what you need. And God will send you somebody who can meet your needs when they need to be met. Woo. I hope that made sense. I hope that made sense, man. Boy, that was not easy to teach. Woo, I hope that made sense. I hope that made sense. All right. How much time I got? Okay, I got to finish this up. So opposites can attract, right? Let's dispel that myth. And there are certain areas where there got to be what? Compatibility. Right, the first area was what? Spiritual. Second area was what? Sexual. Okay, here's the last point. I'm done. There got to be compatibility. Third and finally, socially. Everybody say socially, socially, socially. All right? Which means from a social perspective, there got to be some practical things in the natural that you all connect with. One of the great scriptures is in Genesis chapter 2. Once again, look at the first marriage between Adam and Eve. I love it. In Genesis chapter 2, verse 24, it says this: Therefore a man shall leave his father and mother and be joined to his wife, and they shall become one flesh. Now, I love it because in verse 24, that word join in the Hebrew vernacular, it literally means to be glued together. So here's the imagery, that when you marry someone, you all are glued together. See what I'm saying? There's a type of connection that you have that you're glued together. Remember that scripture? You're yoked together. You're glued together. Now, it would be crazy in a marriage if we're glued together and somebody's always happy and the other person's just depressed. Now, one person always upbeat, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Hey, how you doing? And the other person is always sad. Now, you would say, if you're glued together, what's affecting one? Come on, y'all not saying nothing. It ought to affect the other person. Now, how is it one person living their best life and the other person with depression and they don't care, they're just going sad? You ain't got a good connection there. Because when you connect it, what happens to one ought to happen to the other. If I'm eating, she ought to eat. We ought to be eating together. But if I'm always eating, she's starving, it suggests that we're not being joined together like God called us to be. And when you get ready to be with somebody, you got to make sure that you can have compatibility to the place that you can say, we glued together. All right? So if you got a problem with my boo, you got a problem with me too. See what I'm saying? That's glued together. So no matter who it is, mama can't do it, a mother-in-law can't do it, no, can't nobody come into us, the kids can't come through us. Why? Because we glued together, we've been joined together, and there's a level of compatibility that cannot be broken. So Jesus said, what God has put together. I feel like preaching that. Said, let nobody tear us asunder. Everybody say, gotta be compatible. And when you're getting ready to make a long-term commitment, you need to have compatibility with someone socially. And anytime you're in a relationship, now hear me good, now this is real serious. Anytime you're in a relationship with somebody and y'all constantly fussing, arguing all the time, ain't one thing you agree with. Ain't one thing you every time people see you, you're going at each other. That's a red flag. That's a red flag. I don't care how spiritual we are. You just may not be the one for me. If everything is an argument, every conversation ends with a cuss out. Somebody's offended. Somebody's always upset at each other. That's a problem. There needs to be some compatibility. You got to have a true connection. And let me give you real quickly 3 areas of social compatibility that are necessary for an effective marriage. Number 1, you got to have compatibility in the area of fruitfulness. Are you hearing me? In other words, you want to be with somebody who bears spiritual fruit. Somebody in your life that when you look at them, the fruits of the Spirit is manifested in them. Now, if you're going to be spiritual, they're going to be unspiritual, you're going to have a problem. Now, you want to walk in love, but they want to clap back all the time. That's a problem. You want to have self-control, but they want to be out of control. How many of you know that's a problem? So you want to connect with somebody through the area of fruitfulness, and then compatibility even in the area of family. For those who are about to get married, ask the questions about this. Do you want a family? Do you want kids? Or can you not stand kids? Right? That's not a conversation to have 5 years in. All right? That's one to have before you do. How important is family? And how much of a value you're going to put on family? And how much leeway do you give family? In other words, do you got to make a decision and you got to ask your mama first? Or can you make a decision without asking your daddy first? Can you do it? Come on, y'all not saying nothing. Is it just going to be me and you, or me and you and somebody else? Because if that's the case, it ain't going to work out. How important? There's got to be compatible. You have to agree with how you work your family. And then finally, this is important, be compatible with someone in the area of fun. Because when you get married, you can only do it one time. And connect with somebody that you can enjoy life with. Every couple ought to have their thing. Come on, it's just y'all thing that y'all do for fun. If it's movie night, if it's Netflix, if it's traveling and going to different spots, if it's eating and cooking, y'all love to eat, y'all love to cook together. Every couple ought to have their thing. I told Lady Harriet, we need to get us a fresh thing. Been married 17 years, let's find us a new thing. I said, I'm in Chicago, I want to learn how to step, you know. I said, I want to learn how to step a little bit. I said, let's go somewhere. Let's learn how to step. Come on, let's go somewhere. We can turn you around and, let's have some fun. Come on, man. See, y'all judging me, but see, you got to have a life. And see, when you're a pastor and when you're in a first lady, it's important to have a life. Because I see y'all on social media. Y'all got a life. I just ain't got one. And that's the problem. Because, see, folk will put stuff on you that they don't keep on themselves. I want to have me a little fun, too. Are you hearing me here? So every couple need to have some fun. If it's card night, have you some people that you can connect with. Because grandmama and mama then was pressuring you and everybody trying to tell you what to do. And the moment you did it, it didn't take about 5 months. You realized you made the worst mistake of your life. Come on, because you did something that you weren't graced to do. And at the same time,
join us every Sunday virtually on Facebook Live, live stream, or YouTube for a powerful, impactful word.
Remember now to get your praise on every Sunday
on Facebook Live, live stream, or YouTube for a powerful, impactful word.
Hi, I'm Lucretia Herring, Executive Director of Faith Movers Academy. Faith Movers Academy is located right here on the grounds of Faith Movers Church. Born out of our senior pastor, Pastor Moses B. Herring Sr.'s vision to have a Christian academy that marries spiritual growth and development and academic rigor, Faith Movers Academy provides for a Christ-centered, personalized educational experience that is both fun and creative. And we want you to be a part of that experience. If you have a scholar that is pre-K, ages 3 and 4, or if you have a scholar that is in grades K through 5th grade, we would love to see you here. Why don't you visit us at www.faithmoversacademy.org or call us at 708-279-1012. Remember, Faith Movers Academy, where we're building faith, developing scholars, and revolutionizing education. We'll see you soon.
Faith Movers Academy wants to be part of your child's educational journey. At FMA, we believe every child is a scholar and every scholar has a divine purpose and gift from God. Birthed out of the vision of our senior pastor, Faith Movers Academy is an innovative, Christ-centered, culturally relevant academic institution that believes in personalized learning. At FMA, we believe in hands-on learning, exploring our world through field trips, and giving each scholar an educational experience tailor-made for their learning style. At FMA, Faith Movers Academy will serve children ages 3 to 4 and offer grades kindergarten through 5th grade. Registration is open. Drop by for a tour or come to one of our many open house opportunities. Support the vision. For more information, go to www.faithmoversacademy.org or call 708-279-1012. Remember, Faith Movers Academy, where we are building faith, developing scholars, and revolutionizing education. Join the movement.
Thank you for watching Faith Unscripted with Pastor Moses. If you're ever in the greater Chicago area, Pastor Moses would like to personally invite you to see him live at Faith Movers Church. Faith Movers Church is located 25 minutes from the city of Chicago at 425 Exchange Street, University Park, Illinois, 60484. You can join us every Sunday at 11 a.m. and on Wednesday at noon and 7:30 p.m. We know this will be a transformational experience. Once again, thank you for watching Faith Unscripted with Pastor Moses. And remember, whatever you do, be a faith mover.